Good morning. My name is Dolf Jansen, and I am a fast talker. People in this great theater who know me, they know this. They think, that's Dolf. He wears colorful glasses. He has a hairdresser with a sense of humor. And man, he talks fast. If you hear him twice, you might have heard only half of what he said. He is fast, talking and otherwise. I have been known to talk 75 minutes, or as we in Holland say, 5 kwartier. I have been known to talk 75 minutes within an hour. I once managed to finish the 12-minute Cooper test in 10 minutes and 48 seconds. And when I drive my car and talk at the same time, I often get fined for speeding. But, as you might have gathered, I have changed. Why? How? Good question. Africa. Africa. I have been to Africa. I was in the north of Uganda. I met the people who live there, people who try to make a living from almost nothing. I crossed the Nile on a ferry that, at the other side of the river, had to wait for more than 10 minutes before landing because 30 or more cows were drinking at exactly that spot. In every other situation, in any other place, I would have even shouted, "Come on! Get those cows away! Hey, farmer! Let them drink somewhere else with their big, wet, black and white asses. I have appointments to keep, man. I have people to meet, I have things to do, I'm in a hurry. Moo!" There was a cow. But I didn't. It was okay. I did have places to go. I had villages full of people to meet. Really, I did. There were places that I arrived at, and there were 40 or sometimes 50 women singing and shouting when they saw my matatu come closer. And it's good to tell you right here that a matatu is an African taxi. Otherwise, you might think that African women started singing and shouting when they saw some body part of me coming closer. You have a dirty mind. I like that. Yes, I was in some sort of hurry, but I decided not to care. I was in Africa. I decided to lose my speed. I decided to slow down. I did. A lot of people I know, maybe even people you know, look for meaning in their lives. But mainly, I think they look for some kind of rest. Just a little peace and quiet. People do courses. People go into therapy. They hire other people to take care of their schedule and their diaries. They even hire specialized services to go through their whole lives, their workplace, their desk and everything, to find out where and how they can win some time. Why? To have a rest, not to hurry. My daughter sometimes says, "Chillax, Dad." It makes me think of a t-shirt I once saw. The t-shirt was worn by a slightly overweight man walking on a beachfront with some loud young children around him. The t-shirt said, "Who are these kids and why are they calling me Dad?" When my son was only 4 weeks old, I bought my little baby son a black t-shirt that said, "My dad is a fucking asshole." I thought it was very funny, but somehow he never got to wear it. Mothers have a different sense of humor, I guess. Anyway, my daughter says, "Chillax, Dad," in which maybe you know, maybe you don't. Chillax is a combination of relaxing and chilling. We have a caller. Just take your phone, I won't talk through it. Anyway, relaxing, chilling. Relaxing is what my generation would love to do. Chilling is what our children somehow find the time to do in between gaming, chatting, Facebooking, YouTubing, Tumblring, and putting pictures of each other's social behavior on Twitter. Most people I know would love to chillax, but they can't find the time. Why? They're too busy. How are you? "Oh, I'm good, man." "Busy?" "Yeah, it's a madhouse." Good for you. To not have time to chillax is a sign of success. But of course it isn't. Real success, real happiness lies in having time to look around you, to hear, feel, smell, touch, taste. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 senses working overtime, trying to take us all in, as British band XTC put it in 1982. One more thing my daughter learned me. I shouldn't use so many words. I shouldn't talk so much. In that sense, it's great to have slowed down. In my old speed, I would have needed a lot more paperwork to fill my designated 10 minutes. We had an argument last week, my daughter and I. I was right, no doubt, but she tried to leave the room in a so-called huff. Before she left, she did this with her fingers. She did this. That's what she did. Okay. When I asked her later what it meant, she said, "Whatever, major loser." I didn't notice. I told her, you're right. It does use a lot less words, but I'm not sure if all that fingering will save me time. To which she answered, "I told you to chillax, Dad." So she had the last word, and she was right. People look for some rest, can't find it. We try to be mindful. We try to be not stressed. We try to be not hurried. We try to enjoy what you do, doing what you do with real feeling, with attention. Although I must admit that for years I thought being mindful mainly meant looking at a raisin for 10 minutes until you start to see yourself in the wrinkly little fruit. But I've changed. I've slowed down. Africa has a different speed. There's a few reasons for that, I gather. It's often quite warm in Africa, which can well slow you down. Although it must be said that men in Africa have no trouble with that, as they sit mostly, mainly, and often all the time in the shadow of a big old tree, just having a drink and shooting the breeze. And I know TEDx is about ideas, but it might be a bit much to launch that system here in the Western world. I mean, it is a system. Men go and sit under a tree with a drink, while women do the work, raise the children, cook the meals, and, well, do everything really. It is an idea. It is an idea. But no. Maybe next year. I do. You are a very different audience than I expected. I do think it's not just the daily temperature that slows down the Africans. I do think they really live more in the moment. I don't think they try to be zen. I don't think they try to chillax or be mindful. I think they just take everything as it comes. They don't worry too much about what they can't change anyway, like cows where a ferry should land, or dry soil, or something that's broken. When something breaks in Africa, they mend it. Nothing gets thrown away. Everything is being reused and recycled. We have systems of recycling, infomercials, we have campaigns, we even have special places we go to recycle and then feel good about ourselves. In Africa, they just don't throw anything away ever. I have learned to take my time in Africa, because time is what we have, loads and loads of it. Take your time, use it well, don't use it up. And another thing, share what you have. Share what you have. That goes for food, that goes for our riches, but also for time. When you share your time with others, you enjoy it much more. No one is in a hurry. No one even has a watch. No one does it. Take your time. No one is worried about time. And if you have time, you can share it even better. I'll make some time for you. And one more thing I saw in Africa. Women not only do the work, they have the best ideas also. In one village I visited, the women had set up a women's group, a corporation, where they could lend small amounts of money to set up a little shop, a little business. It worked. They made some money, they paid some interest, they helped other women. And when I met them, 4 or 5 men from the village had become members of that group. They were looking proud in their women's group of Makwangu t-shirt. So I think Africa does what we should do, what we could do. Share ideas, listen a bit more to women. I say listen a bit more to women. Work, live sustainable, and first and foremost, take it easy. Don't get stressed, don't get hurried. Take your time, live in the moment, throw away your clocks. A week later, I was in Kenya. I was in Iten, I was in Eldoret. Out on my daily run, I am a runner, I run daily. Out on my daily run, I was doing quite well. I was passed by schoolgirls doing 10 miles an hour with a bag under their arms. Sometimes I was even passed by real runners doing 13 miles an hour, and they were smiling while doing that. And why? Because the faster they ran, the more time they had to relax and do nothing. So that's what I ended up with. Live slow, run fast, enjoy every moment. Thank you very much.
Dolf Jansen.